Hi, I'm Mark Mannis, Director of Instruction at the Golf Center at the Highlands. And today I want to talk to you about what it means to have a square club face. The fact of the matter is, it's really kind of an undefined statement. If you talk to a number of golf professionals, you'll get different answers from many of them. What do I mean by square? What I mean is a club face that is perpendicular to the path of the swinging club at impact. Now, it can be squared a variety of positions through the swing. Doesn't mean it's still facing the target, doesn't mean it's in the same attitude it was at address. It simply means it is in a position that allows you to return the club back to the ball easily. Here's what I mean by all this. When I have people take their grip, I always do it with the club up in the air. The reason is I think it's much easier to see the leading edge of the club face is vertical in this position than putting it down on the ground where it tends to get twisted open or closed based upon what your eyes like to see. Up here, vertical is vertical. As a matter of fact, I can find a telephone pole or something to put this up against to tell me where vertical is. Then I apply my hands to the club from there, so I know I've taken my grip in what I consider to be my square position. That's number one. Number two is a position where the club face is square to the target line. In other words, I've got it set down there perpendicular to that target line at address. So if I'm going at the red flag out in front of me, it's roughly here. Well, there are other positions in the swing where square is appropriate to talk about. I believe as we swing the club back, there's a first position that I have to look for, and that position is here when the club is parallel to the ground. And at that point in the swing, I believe the club face should be slightly toed in. A lot of golf professionals think vertical is square. I believe that's a position where we've begun to roll our arms. I'm not ready to roll my arms in the golf swing at that point. I believe we want the club face to start back moving with our turn, and it's not until in here that our forearms begin to roll and our wrists really begin to hinge to get the club up into position at the top of the backswing. When I reach the top of the backswing, square is a whole new position. In my case, it's a position where my left wrist is relatively flat, my left arm and the club face are relatively parallel to one another. This would be a closed club face. That would be an open club face. If the toe is pointed down, the club face is open. If the face is pointed to the sky, like Dustin Johnson, that would be a closed club face. Understanding these things can help you immensely in trying to fix your own golf swing. Somebody tells you, your club face is facing the sky at the top and you're hitting low hooks, might be time to change your grip. By the same token, if somebody tells you the club face is wide open at the top and your wrist tends to get into this kind of position, a cuppy position at the top, you may want to fix that part of your swing. Reality is, I know that at impact, square is when the club face is facing the target, as long as my path is facing the target, going down the target line at that moment. That's a square club face to that path. Well, guess what? In order to get there, my hands are typically leaning forward. That's the impact position I'm always looking for. So, kind of in conclusion here, I want you to understand some things. Square is relative. What is square for you? You may find your club face has to be a little bit closed to me at the top of your backswing to be square at impact. You may find it needs to be a little open. That depends on how much your arms rotate, what your hand position is through impact, and how you use the club. I just know certain things. Number one, if you will bring the club up in the air and take your grip here, square is when that club face is vertical. Number two, I know that at impact, for me, square is always perpendicular to the path of the club. Now that could mean a push, it could mean a pull, it could also mean you're aimed a little incorrectly if the ball's going left or right, but it definitely means no curve of the golf ball. So you might want to work on figuring out where square is. I think it's worth the time. Spend a little time swinging the club slowly and understanding where your club face is, maybe in a mirror, if not in a mirror, with a little video behind you so you can take a look at what it really looks like. Practice like this will really help you.